Real estate investors and real estate owners have been getting their asses kicked for the past 2 years. I've never seen so many stories of large, sophisticated, good real estate investors going bust than I have in the last 2 years. And small mom and pop investors, well, they've been too terrified to even get in the game. But these past 2 years have given me a lot of perspective. See, I've bought and sold over 150 properties and I've raised $60 million from strangers, from partners who want to invest with me. And look, I'm a poor blue collar boy turned self-made millionaire. Now, in these past 2 years specifically, I've made some money and I've also lost some money. Made a little bit more money, lost a bit more money, and then made more money again. You get the cycle. It's really been like swimming up current. But that's all about to change for the real estate market going forward. And if you follow this channel, you already knew that. I really believe that dark times for residential real estate specifically is pretty much over. But what has this real estate recession that's wiped out so many people showed me? Let's get into it. So my strategy from the very beginning when I bought my first property at 22 years old in 2010 was easy peasy and boring. See, I joined one of the best real estate investment groups in Canada at that time called REIN, the Real Estate Investment Network, but I met so many sophisticated and wise real estate investors who were much older than me at the time, and they all told me the same things. Dude, just keep it simple, keep it boring. That was like one of the REIN mantras. And even being at the age of 20 years old when I first joined this organization, I always knew I wanted boring. I mean, my upbringing was pretty rocky when it came to financials. My parents always struggled with money, and we always had enough to like take care of ourselves and eat and have clothes, like the very basics. But when it came to like going on trips, going to cottages up province or upstate if you're in the US, yeah, that was not a thing in my childhood. And my parents were very open about their finances and their struggles, and they told me, you don't want to do what we do. You gotta do something different. Even though my parents never knew anything about investing, certainly investing in real estate, nobody in my family was doing that. So I still to this day have no friggin' idea how I became so obsessed with real estate investing at the age of literally like 17, 18 years old. I have no idea, but thank you to the gods. I just knew that I wanted easy peasy boring within the real estate industry. So this brings me to my very first important point of this video is that I'm kind of going back to what I started with, which is single family properties. Now, I've never really deviated from this strategy, but as I'm saying more and more in 2024, you gotta cut out the cute shit and just get back to the boring stuff. And like I said, while I did single family throughout the entire pandemic and the whole run up of the real estate market, it was mostly single family, but I did some cute things with some Airbnb arbitrage. I went really heavy on flips. Again, still single family, but a little more of a cutesy strategy. And while I made a ton of money with flips and some money with Airbnb arbitrage, it's not to say that those strategies are just like, you should never do them. I'm never do them ever again. No, I'm still doing those things, but I'm putting more focus now on the shit that got me here, that got me to be a wealthy multi-millionaire. And I'm just going to triple down on that stuff again. And I'll get more to that at the end of this video on how I'm doing that exactly. But if you want easy peasy boring when it comes to your finances, when it comes to real estate investing, dude, there's nothing more safe and secure than single family investing. Now, the whole strategy is pretty simple. We're buying the worst house on the nicest street in a nice neighborhood in a nice city that has good GDP growth, job growth, population growth. Again, all the fundamental shit that I've been talking about literally on this channel since 2012, and I've never deviated. But I'm putting more of an emphasis in these videos going forward of like, yo, do you know the economic fundamentals? Do you know how the real estate cycles work? Again, I've talked about this stuff so much in 2014, 2015, 2016, but it seems like investors have forgotten because now they've been spoiled with the whole run-up we just had of flipping properties, doing Airbnb arbitrage, doing all these, I would say, cutesy strategies, wholesaling. Yeah, those are all great businesses. I know great investors and friends of mine in each of those niches, and they're absolutely dominating. But for the average Joe who's just trying to figure shit out, dude, don't be doing any of those right now. You have no business fucking around with arbitrage and flipping if you have a net worth, in my mind, under $2 million. You have no fucking business touching those. You haven't put in the work. You haven't gained the skills. You don't have the experience of working with contractors, of hiring employees off-site, especially when it comes to Airbnb arbitrage. You have no experience with hiring people, firing people, growing a business. profit and expense statements and running a business. You have no idea about those things. So don't be fucking touching those. And that's really my focus going forward, is bringing it back to step one. Because I've been talking about step one for so many years, but I'm a pretty advanced real estate investor. And now I talk about all the cool stuff and the fun stuff and living in Florida for half the year and traveling to Europe in the summers, having a dream house in Canada. But maybe I've forgotten about step one. Maybe I forgot about the people who are just starting right now. So if you're just starting right now and you're just finding out about real estate investing, maybe you're a Gen Z and you're just now getting into the market and thinking about investing, let's talk about the basics. And there's nothing more basic than single family properties. Again, buy a nice property in a really good quality city that has a future. Again, a mistake so many investors have made during this pandemic run up is buying shit in Timbuktu, up province or upstate. Oh, but the cash flow is so much more. Yeah, dude, there's no jobs. There's nothing there. So when we do have a recession like we just had, you're getting fucked. See, in these past 2 years, I've lost some money on some flips. I got punched in the head. No problem. That's part of business. You're going to lose money when you start getting to the levels that I'm at and you're doing tons of deals. It's going to happen. It's even uncomfortable for me because I fucking hate losing money. Dude, if I lose like $5,000 on a deal, I'm like depressed for a week. If I make like 50 grand, 60 grand, 100 grand, I'm like, yeah, business as usual, bro. Next. The losses hurt so much. But I have a net worth and the ability to take the punches. Like, to be straight with you, in these past 2 years, I've probably lost about $400,000, $500,000 over these past 2 years. Now that's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money. Now the problem is if you're a newbie investor and you just started flipping and you lost that money, you don't have a fucking net worth. You're leaving your lenders high and dry. See, I've been paying my lenders every single month out of my money. Dude, it hurts so much. But I've been paying them to keep up the reputation and keep the relationships. So they're making money. I'm not. It's cool. I got millions of dollars. I can afford 400, 500 grand. Again, I don't want to lose that fucking money. That sucks. But I can afford to lose it because of the business that I've built up. So until you have this comfortable net worth to be able to lose some money, enough with the cute shit. It's not for you yet. Now, my next point, talking about Airbnbs. Now, if you're doing Airbnbs in quality areas that have a demand, just like we do for the single family, but now it's a different active business, it's still a great business. You can do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it as a year one, year two real estate investor. You just got to be really fucking sure you're buying the right areas. For example, should you be buying an Airbnb single family property, 30 minutes outside of Detroit as an Airbnb? Okay, probably not. You could have gotten away with that during the run up when everybody was getting paid money to stay home. Everybody was living the life, vacation. That property today is not going to do good. I can tell you that. Now, if you're buying Airbnb properties in Miami or Cape Coral, Southwest Florida, areas that have giant demand, year-round demand, it doesn't matter if there's a recession, everything's going to slow down naturally, but those areas are going to be the last to slow down because there's demand. It's a vacation spot. It's all year long. Everybody's going to Miami. Everybody's going to Southwest Florida. These top areas that make sense to own an Airbnb. Dude, nobody wants your fucking Airbnb in Ann Arbor, fucking Michigan, okay? It ain't gonna happen. Like I said, maybe you could have gotten away with that 2 years ago, but now, I don't know. I wouldn't really risk it. I want guaranteed, boring, pretty much guaranteed. So if you're doing Airbnbs, it's a great business, dude. I know so many friends and investors who are just crushing it. Great business. But a little more advanced. You better know exactly what you're doing and you better hire mentorship, have someone shadow you and walk you through the process on the first couple ones. Make sure they're actually going to be profitable before you keep going. That's what I'm talking about. Now, my next point, flipping real estate. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best real estate investing strategies to know because it's A to Z. We're learning how to get motivated sellers to contact us through marketing. We're locking up deals at a deep discount, direct to seller. We're not buying shit off of MLS with realtors when it comes to flipping. We're learning the whole business from A to Z and how to do it. And then obviously we're learning how to raise capital to close that flip. We're taking the flip all the way through. So we're learning how to hire contractors. We're learning about design and renovations. We're selling it for a profit. There's no better business. I absolutely love flipping and I'm going to keep doing it full on because I've been doing this for like 12 years. I have the net worth to be able to do this and handle this. But what I'm saying is for a newbie investor, I don't know. I mean, if you hire the right mentors, you get the right knowledge, you get the right education, it's totally possible. But if you have a net worth of fucking $67,800, dude, you better be fucking careful. It's no joke. I know it seems easy and maybe even myself make it easy on this channel. Like, yeah, I'm flipping real estate like crazy. It's because I got so much experience, but you don't have a net worth to lose. If you go bust on one flip with a net worth of 67K, you're done. You're going to go bankrupt. You're going to piss everybody off. Your name is not going to be forgotten. Everybody's going to know that you're the motherfucker that fucked people. You think they're going to want to work with you in the future? not good. And last but not least, multifamily. Multifamily's lame. I'll leave it at that. No, multifamily's great. I personally hate it. Why? It attracts the lowest quality tenant, but I understand the business. I understand the fundamentals. Obviously, I've owned a lot of multifamily. I've helped so many of my real estate agent clients buy multifamily properties over my 12 years. I understand the business so well. It's a great, fantastic business. One of the best, actually, to get really wealthy because it's totally business focused. There's no emotions. There's no comparable sales like single family. The more I talk about it, you think I would be into this. I'm a very type A personality. I don't piss around. I'm just straight business. But I just don't like the tenant quality that comes with multifamily. They're the lowest quality. They're scrub tenants. Why? They're paying the lowest rent on the market. So you're more likely to attract a shithead. Now, if you're buying multifamilies in great states like Georgia, Tennessee, where the, landlord-tenant rules are amazing, and I might get into this a little more, okay, then you're kind of catching me. Now you're persuading me. But I'm a Canada boy, and having low-quality tenants in a country where the tenants rule the world, dude, I ain't fucking touching it. So maybe that's why I got kind of a bad, outlook on it. But, the more we're going into the US, which actually leads me now to my final point, is also know where you're investing. Now, Now, I'm a Canadian. The majority of my followers are Canadian real estate investors. But as you know, the Canadian real estate market, I think, for investing is dead. It doesn't make any sense. The properties have run up so high, and now with high interest rates and the fact that rent hasn't really kept up with how fast real estate has increased because people just really can't afford it. So there's a ceiling on rental increases. It just makes no sense. Nothing cash flows in Ontario specifically, unless, as I always say, you're buying big multifamily buildings. But that takes a lot of money, a lot of experience. So for a lot of you watching this channel who don't have that, don't have a high net worth, don't know how to yet attract money and actually grow a business, and you're trying to buy your fucking duplex in Sudbury, Ontario, or Kingston, Ontario. Dude, no. Unfortunately, it's not for you. Unless you're interested in negative cash flow and going bankrupt probably in like a year, and having a tenant just never pay you rent and get away with it scot-free, no consequences to the credit rating, no consequences to their life. They can just do it again and again and again to the next landlord. No, I'm not interested in that. And honestly, neither should you. And I know it's not ideal because we all want to invest in our backyard or at least our province or at least our country. I mean, that would be nice. There's nothing more that I would love than to continue buying rental properties in Kitchener-Waterloo. I would love that. By the way, if you don't know where that is, that's 1 hour south of Toronto. I bet you know where Toronto is. Anyway, that's why I'm focusing purely now on going back to the basics as I've always done, but even more now, of just buying single family properties in the US in quality states like Tennessee and Florida. Those are my main focuses. Now, if you want to learn more about that, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, check out the pinned comment below where I give you my free guide on how to invest in the US as a Canadian citizen. I tell you everything in there. And there's also other guides that you can choose from in there, like how to raise money like I do, how to build a social media brand so that you attract joint venture partners so that you can actually grow a business and be a real estate investor, not someone who just talks about it. So if you're ready for those guides, check out that pinned comment below, and I will see you in the next video.